Hi everybody, this is Wade from Wade's Orchids. I want to do a little video here on what the method that I use to salvage or try to save some orchids. I do rescue some from time to time. Here's one of them, and I want to tell you first off that this has been in some sphagnum moss for a little while, and it's starting to do okay, or at least better. But if you look at this, you can see that when I got it, it had absolutely no really good roots. I don't think these are even alive here. Yeah, they are. Okay, but this will work even if you don't have any roots at all on your plant. In the month that this has been in sphagnum moss, I'm going to hold this up real close. You can see there's a new growth starting and some new roots starting. This is a cross of Oncidium maculatum with Odontocidium tiger crow golden girl. Okay, but this will work on just about any type of orchid. I found this to be the best thing that I can do, and I want to show you a couple of things, hopefully success stories. We have here two Oncidium types here. Both of them are really pretty commonly grown. This is Oncidium twinkles, red variety. Here we have Sherry Baby Sweet Fragrance. Now, if you look at this, when I first got him, Sherry Baby had kind of, the bulbs were not doing real good. There were absolutely no good roots on it. This was back in, close to a year ago, I think. But in the year, it is done fairly well. You see I have a nice little spike here going. Nothing will compare with what a good mature Cherry Baby can do, but at least it seems to be a happy plant. Nice fat pseudobulb going, new growth going. And I want to take this out of the pot here. Hopefully I'll show you good roots. Yep. This had no good roots on it at all a year ago. Okay. And now it's very happy, doing well. Something that happens almost all the time for me with sphagnum moss is that I get this crappy algae on it. And what I do, I'll find a plant that has some moss growing, and I'll take a pinch of that and I'll press into the sphagnum. And as you can see with right here, the moss is starting to grow, and after a while this will be moss covered instead of algae covered, which I think is a little prettier. Now, one thing with sphagnum is you do have to be aware that after about 2 years' time, if you're growing it fairly moist, it starts to break down. So you have to be aware of that. It is very easy, as you saw, to take it out of the pot and examine it. Now here's Twinkles. Twinkles was a really sad sight. Again, no roots. Right now, after about the same amount of time, about a year, we have, it's on its third growth since I got it. Here's what we had when I started. We had these three, and they looked about like that. And I think this growth here. But it's doing very well. I think it's going to be able to flower for me sometime pretty soon. This, hopefully I can get out of the pot here, and we'll take a look at it. Now, this is a clay pot. You can grow in whatever pot you want. This is not coming out real easy but you can see there's a lot of, there's some good roots growing there. It's a very happy plant. Okay, so we'll push that back in there without disturbing it anymore. A couple other things I wanted to show you. This is on Maxillary variabilis, the yellow form, and this is how I start them. And you can see that we have growths here and here going, and these were cuttings that had no roots on back in I think it was November. Okay, and now it's a healthy plant going on its own. This is Brasada Memoria Burke Fields, Linda Marie Salon, which has got an AM, and it was a back bulb that I got, so we put it in here, and again you can see we have really nice roots going. Probably the next set of growths that it's going to make, oh, there goes my fan. But the next set of growths it's going to make is going to require me to put it in a bigger pot anyway, but I'll take it out of sphagnum and I'll put it in a bark mix. Here's a back bulb of an Oncidium elata made with some awarded parents that I hope I can save. This thing has been giving me some problems. It was in a bark mix and it was trying to rot on me. So I took it and put it in sphagnum here, and hopefully we'll be able to get it going. But I want to show you how to pot these up, and you can do it as I showed you, either in clay or plastic. One thing that's I should say with the clay, it dries out much more quickly. It's very difficult to overwater it in clay with sphagnum moss. Okay, so you might want to keep that in mind. I'm going to put this in a plastic pot, and I get this at Lowe's. I'm not making any plug for it or anything, but this is what's available to me very easily, and it's a small brick of sphagnum. Something that you have to do frequently with the quality of sphagnum that you get nowadays is you have to go and pick out twigs and stems and things like that they might have in it. Also, you may sometimes get some grass seed starting up in it once you pot things up. But here's some that I have pre-moistened and spilling out over. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take this and make a ball. Like that. Okay. I'm going to pause this for just a second while I get some styrofoam peanuts. Okay, got my peanuts here. Something you should be aware of in case you haven't found it out by now is sometimes the peanuts that you get in shipping are made with a potato type product, and they just kind of turn to mush when they're wetting. So make sure that you don't use those. You have to get styrofoam peanuts. Okay, so we're going to dump some of these in. Okay, and that's filled up between a third and a half full. Okay, I don't like to have a huge pot full of sphagnum moss here because it'll retain too much water. So just making a ball here. Okay, now you notice this is covering the growth right now, which is no problem. What I'm going to do now is stuff it in here. And there goes my trusty old fan again. But as I push this in, I push it in from the outside. Just like that. And as I work it down, you'll see that the new growth becomes exposed there. Right there it is, just starting out. Okay, now something that's very important is that after you get it potted up, this should not be wiggling back and forth like it is. So I'm going to get a little pot clip. You can make these very easily from 12 or 14 gauge galvanized wire and a pair of pliers. And after you get this done, you just take this and put it here, and come on. There we are, got it started. And push this down, and that will help to keep it from moving around. You can also take a stake and tie it around here, which I think I'll do that right now. Here we got my trusty twistums. So, cut off a bit of that. You might recognize these things. This is what they give you now for in the Chinese restaurants for chopsticks. Makes good disposable steaks. And we'll get this in like that. And twist it around a couple times. And there you have it. I think after I'm done with the video here, I'll make a better label here. And I will put down the date that I did this. And all we need to do yet is water it, and it's ready to go. This has been a very, very good method for me. I like it very much. I would say it's probably 90% success so far. So I hope this has helped you out with saving your orchids that are in trouble, or if you rescue some from a garden shop or something like that they're getting rid of. This hopefully will get it back on track and give you a nice healthy plant within about a year or two. Okay? This is Wade from Wade's Orchids. Have a nice day and happy growing.